just because we do have such great attendance, I wanted to make sure that we all knew who you are and who you're representing. So we're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Hernandez. Does he don't mind?
Good morning. I'm Jesse Hernandez. I'm a psychotherapist in private practice, definitely consulting counseling, and I've always enjoyed working with Drug and Alcohol Commission, all of you here, and I look forward to getting to know you. If you have anything, feel free to text me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Selena Villarreal. I am with Border Region and also private practice, so I'm also a psychotherapist. We provide outpatient treatment services at Border Region, and then of course private practice. So again, if there's anything that I can do, I'd be more than happy to help, to make this a stronger team, because we know what we need in this city.
Good morning, my name is Jessica Espinosa. I'm the project manager and program manager for substance use and primary care services at Puerto Rico.
Hello, my name is Erica Lopez, and I'm with the City of Laredo Health Department.
Nancy Cadena, I'm the Director of Webb County Indigent Health Services, and I represent Commissioner Tejeda on this board.
Carla Valdez, I'm with Denise Walker. We're representing Pillar, but we're TAMU master's degree students. So we're getting our master's in counseling psychology. And we finish in December.
Media Perez Gonzalez, and I am a program director at SCAN for Youth Prevention Services, and I'm here representing Dora Maria Ramirez.
Good morning, Angelica Ramirez. I am the quality specialist for the BBHEAD program, the 24-hour crisis response team at SCAN, and I'm here on behalf of Mr. Enrique Manrique.
I'm with her.
She's a case manager for the BBHEAD program.
Yes, I work alongside a counselor, so my job is basically contacting clients to see how they're doing and setting up appointments. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Manuel Maciel, I'm the Assistant Chief with Laredo Police Department, part of this group to assist and give any help to any initiatives. As you all know, we have a big involvement in all these organizations, so and that's the key to our success. So thank you.
Good afternoon, Ana Guerrero. I'm one of the offices here at the Health Department, and I work specifically with people dealing with HIV.
Gerardo Montemayor, I was appointed by Mercurio Martinez for the district to help get this going and keep it going. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. My name is Colin Luis. I'm the Executive Director for Laredo Crime Stoppers, and I was appointed by Mayor Sines.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Perez. I'm the administrative assistant 2 for the City of Laredo Health Department.
Good morning or afternoon. I'm Guillermo Walls. I'm one of the assistant directors here at the City of Laredo Health Department. I'm the Health Department's liaison, so anything you all need.
Good afternoon. My name is Linda Mendiola. I work for Tropical Texas Behavioral Health OSAR. And what I do is help get clients connected to substance use treatment services and any other kind of services that is needed as part of their recovery.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Margarita Garza. I'm the director of the Webb County Adult Drug Court Program and the Veterans Treatment Court Program. I was appointed by Commissioner Viendo. Yes, Viendo.
Hello, my name is Marina Moreno. I was formerly Morales. I'm here. I was appointed by John C. Galo, and I'm here because my son passed away from a drug overdose, and I want to help the community do something about it.
Hi everybody, my name is Freddy Cordova. I work with the DWI court with Judge Villarreal. I was appointed by Councilwoman Melissa Cigarroa.
Thank you, everyone, for those introductions. We hope that we have and we stick to this momentum. We caught you all with the picture days, everything. So next time what we're going to do is we'll probably move the meeting in the same building, but to the conference room where we used to meet. That way we can facilitate everybody. I ask that you please ensure that if you have an invitation to the meeting that you RSVP so that we can make sure that we have the food available for you all, since we know that you're taking your lunchtime to be here with us. Okay, so we're going to try to see if we can get this meeting going and done quickly so that we can get you all on the way a little bit before 1 p.m. Because we haven't been able to meet quorum for a while now, we do have all of our commission members represented today. So I am going to ask for the approval of minutes for April 13, 2022. If you all have your red folders, you should have already reviewed them the last couple of times. So if I could please get a first. I have a first by Jesse. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Gerardo. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes to approve the minutes as written. Thank you. Moving forward to the administrator report. I know Mr. Walsh is going to be taking off in just a little bit, so I know he's going to excuse himself, but do you have anything for us?
I do want to just mention, I'm going to use my phone because it's a lot easier to read than to remember. So on Monday, Congressman Henry Cuellar announced that the City of Laredo Health Department received a grant for an assisted outpatient treatment program, which will begin very soon, probably in October. This is a court-ordered treatment program for individuals with mental illness who have a history of multiple hospitalizations or who have exhibited violence towards themselves or others. And with your all's permission, and if you guys want, we can have Dr. Luis Cerda from Primary Care Services next month come and do a very good, very informed presentation so that you guys are very much aware. And he knows all the ins and outs much better than I do. I'm just an administrator, but as a clinician, he knows everything that the program will do and what we hope to accomplish. So
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes, we're good. We'll put it in for the next agenda. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate all the support that you have provided us. Moving forward for discussion and possible action, the review of attendance and participation. So as I've mentioned before, we've had a lack of attendance and participation, so therefore we have not been able to meet quorum and or move forward. So I do ask kindly that anyone who is represented here, please do not get discouraged. We will continue and we will try to do the best that we can do to represent our council members and our commission members, but in addition to represent our community. And so with that said, there's a couple of vacancies and we are going to resubmit a request to the council to let them know so that they can fill those positions. There are going to be some vacancies after this coming election. Terms will end. So we wanted to make sure that there's a transition and everybody continues to work. As some of you may know or may not know, that the Drug and Alcohol Commission had gone dormant for almost 10 years until a couple of years ago that we started to become very active. We became active and then COVID happened and then we kind of went back to where we were at. So now it's kind of like we want to make sure that we invite you and you all become part of these meetings because we want to know through your agencies what are some of those issues and concerns or missing things that are required so that we can assist. And so I've said it before, we don't have the money, but we do have our leaders supporting us. And so we go back to them, potentially there can be some support. So make sure that you all attend because in the next couple of, actually no more meetings. I think that's already been discussed. We've already gone through so many times where we say one more meeting and if they don't show up, one more meeting and they don't show up. No. Yeah, if they didn't show up today, that's it. We're moving forward, okay, just so that you all know. The update of the Webb County data presented by Prevention Resource Center. Last meeting we had Jerry Munoz, who represented the Prevention Resource Center, and he gave us an insight of the Rio Grande Valley numbers. Do you want to put those up there, please? He and his team aren't able to be here today, but I did request that we see those numbers, just so that we can kind of have an idea of what's going on.
Is this from the Rio Grande Valley Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse? Or
Yes.
the numbers for Webb County?
For Webb County. Although he did give me the numbers for, I want to say like a year ago, for 2020.
Sorry, let's just leave them.
So the Webb County statistics, and some of these numbers, Chief Maciel might be able to kind of say.
The source of it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know where they got it?
I honestly don't know. I don't remember.
It's Prevention Resource Center 2. But I don't know where they got it.
They said that they accumulated the stats from different agencies. I don't know specifically as to what agencies, but they are a resource center, so they must have gotten it from somewhere somehow. So the violent crime indicates that there's sexual assault 10%, robbery 17.2, murder, I can't even see that number, 1.33, assault 71.5, and then property crime, auto theft, burglary, and larceny. And this is out of the population out of Webb County, which is 272,676. 908 drug-related deaths, 473 adults arrested for DUI, and 44 liquor law arrests. And I think for the next meeting, Mr. Walsh is going to make contact with the fire department so we can have representation from the fire department so that we could, kind of look at those stats on a more monthly basis. I know that, Chief Maciel, you all probably do that too on a monthly basis. You all get new numbers. So maybe for next time we can go ahead and look at it as a ongoing and current situation, because these numbers are old. Do you have the other one with the chart? Because the other one was more interesting on the.
I'd be interested to know where these stats are from. Because just for our agency alone, DWI arrests, our arrests are a lot higher than what's projected there.
Okay, I need to find out.
You take Webb County into account. Are they taking it to the sheriff's department? DPS does arrests in the county also. So.
I'll definitely confirm that, and I'll ask. And I wish they would have been here, but they said that they had like a major conference going on, and we had already put them on the agenda as a follow-up. So I do apologize for that. These numbers are alcohol-related arrests from 2017 to 2020 in this region, and I was looking at them closely, and on the DUI, what it looks like is that the numbers have decreased, which is a good thing. And then you look at the drunkenness, and they've kind of been on a slope. They go up and then down, and they're lower than they were a couple of years ago in 2017. And then when you look at liquor law, those numbers have increased.
Yeah.
So I don't know if those numbers are relevant to what you all are.
To me, the definition of what's drunkenness.
Yeah.
Like a little bit drunk, but not enough to be.
Like a little pregnant?
No, but it is.
Buzz driving, not drunk driving.
Like if you're bus driving.
I'll confirm, and hopefully they'll have representation next meeting. But then also hopefully we have some numbers from Chief Maciel of the Laredo Police Department, and I know Mara was going to reach out to the sheriff's office to see if we can have representation from somebody there, and then Mr. Walsh is going to reach out to the fire department to see if we can get representation and statistics as well. I know SCAN, you all see clients. We'd like to see some of those stats to find out how you're all doing or what's going on. The same as with Pillar or any other agency with Ms. Linda. So just so we can kind of get numbers in place, but we definitely do need to find out where these numbers are being sourced from, and because they are, I don't know, I can't remember if they are like grant funded or they support grants. So these numbers are going into grants, which is what we need money for our community. If these numbers are represented and they don't have a true representation, then it may affect the community's source of funding. So I guess kind of just making sure that we're all on the same page and that we all support and that we all share that data so that it's easier for everyone in the long run. So again, we wish they would have been here today, but they had a huge conference in their region. So we'll get back to them.
Based on what I'm seeing in the community, and Margarita, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in the 3 programs that I evaluate, the drug court, veterans court, Pillar, we're running about 40% of the clients that are admitted have a primary problem with alcohol use disorder. It doesn't seem to have, the numbers show that they've gone down, but that's not what I think we're seeing in the field. Is that not about right, Margarita? Was that not about right with you too? I mean, it doesn't reflect what we're seeing in our SAMHSA grants. I'm sure it's not what we're seeing at Puerto Region or other programs. it's still a huge problem.
Well,
Yeah,
and-
the anomaly you'll probably see is 2020 with COVID and the shutdown.
Oh, yeah, COVID, yes.
And then they'll come right back.
But the only reason COVID went down, numbers went down, wasn't that people weren't drinking, they were drinking more.
Drinking at home.
They're just drinking at home.
They were drinking.
So this is great discussion. This is exactly what we want to see, and the intention of making sure that all the agencies are represented, because again, there's just, we don't want to have missing information. So I love the fact that you're all able to cue in and.
I'll give you the current numbers next month for what we do at the Drug Court, Veterans Court, and at Pillar. And I'll let you know what substance of addiction is the primary, secondary.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Chief, during COVID, was there a lot of domestic violence? Did it go up?
Yeah.
Right? Because they were drinking at home and they were estaban in la casa.
Well, I mean, it also increased for
Mental health.
for mental health, child
Yeah,
abuse,
of course.
sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse.
And one of I think about 2 years ago, some of the reporting requirements, they changed the Uniform Crime Report reporting. It went into what we call the NIBRS, a different system that's federally uniform. So a lot of sexual offenses were classified into one category. So you will see on a chart like this, you'll see a spike in sexual offenses.
But they're
But really,
two
it's a
different offenses.
yes, all put into one. So it kind of gives a bad picture of, hey, this is this big problem. Where in reality, looking at it now, it's because these lower offenses are being classified into that one. So sometimes you got to look a little bit deeper into some of this.
Okay, well, hopefully next meeting, we all have representation and we get some statistics. So if your agency is represented or values your mission based on numbers, bring those numbers with you so that you can share with us. And then hopefully we'll have ongoing representation from the Prevention Resource Center. That way they're able to get those numbers down to a T. So thank you so much for everyone's input. Moving forward, we hadn't seen Jesse for a while, and we're glad that you're back. So we have been pending the presentation by subcommittee on recommendation to the city and the county for the model of the detox.
Okay.
And so there's been discussion about how and what the detox is going to do. And I know that Jesse had mentioned that he wanted to go to city council or have a representative of our commission go out to city council and to the commissioner's court to discuss a plan of action that they would possibly consider. At the end of the day, it's whatever our leaders are going to do, but if we have input and we've been putting all of our eggs in that one basket, I think that they should definitely consider it. So, Jesse?
I think most of the issues that we've been talking about over the last few months have been resolved. But the one issue and thing that I want to impress on the city council is, and I would want to take a vote on it because we were supposed to take a vote on it in a while, and this came out of the last meeting we had of the detox committee back in April. I'd like to propose that we formally adopt that the proposed detox that the city and the county are involved in building and operating is going to follow the Texas Administrative Code, Title 25, Health Services, specifically Chapter 448.902, relating to detoxification services. That we're going to follow the protocols based on that chapter. I want to propose that we vote on it so that there's no confusion. This is going to be a detox. It's going to be a medical detox facility. It's not going to be anything else. It's not going to be drop-in or anything. It's a medical detox. And I want to propose that we vote on that to clarify it, because we're going to vote on that back in May and then again in different times. But I'd like to finally propose that and vote on it officially. And then I'll be happy to write a letter saying this is what we voted on and this is what we're going to do. And, I think I don't have any issues now, pending issues that we have to do. And that way we can finish this up and eventually move back to phase 2, which is residential. But we need to finish this first. And so that's what I want to propose, that we are going to, this particular detox program is going to follow the Texas Administrative Code, Title 25 Health Services, specifically Chapter 448.902 relating to detoxification services. and that we're going to follow the protocols set forth by the state of Texas. I'd like to vote, to place that for a vote.
Well, again, it's a recommendation to adapt it as a medical detox because, I mean, although, do you feel like it's going to be anything different than a
It
medical
can't be
detox?
because that's what they're doing.
That's
That's what they're doing.
licensed for.
But there had been questions for a number of months, there had been questions about one time possibly doing a social detox or having different, and we said no from the beginning, even 10 years ago when I was first on, it was always going to be a medical detox.
Do we have any discussion from any of the members or anybody that wants to chime in and give any or ask any questions? If not, do I have a motion to present this information to City Council and the Commissioners Court on behalf of the Drug and Alcohol Commission?
Jesse, you're doing the motion, right?
Yes,
I'll second. I'll
yeah,
second.
thank you very much.
So I have a first by Jesse and a second by Nancy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, just want to let you all know that I appreciate the work that you've all been doing, Gerardo, Margarita, and Jesse, and Ana. I know that you've all met countless of times and consistently, so I appreciate you all having to work towards this. Appreciate it. Moving forward to the National Substance Abuse Prevention Month, and I put event there because a couple of years ago, I want to say maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, we had an event over at the mall, and that was a very nice event, and I want to say it was in September, October. So the idea is there. I know that we had discussed in the last meetings where nothing was officially voted, but we wanted to start involving ourselves with the Drug and Alcohol Commission and supporting, SCAN and Pillar and the different Mikey's Purpose, like different agencies, and having to say the Drug and Alcohol Commission supports these agencies. And so it's on the table. The National Substance Abuse Prevention Month is in October, and in October there's just several events going on. So it doesn't have to necessarily be in October, but something in that sort that we already kind of get all of our stakeholders in one place and kind of tell people like, come on over and learn about the different resources and make it very family inviting. And then at that, be able to just share the resources. Some of these pictures are going to be were taken for the purpose of our Facebook page. We do have a social media page. Some people have requested information. Also, our website, our web page is going to be updated. It's going to reflect the new information, some of those statistics, some of the resources, some of the links to your websites, just so that we could be like a one-stop shop for anybody who is looking for help. Because I think at when somebody's looking for help, you just don't want to be like, where do I go, right? So if they can go to something that would be uniformed as the Drug and Alcohol Commission, for prevention purposes, where do they go and how do they go about it? And so we want to make sure that we have those contacts for the different agencies. So I don't know if anybody has any ideas or any recommendations or any hesitation to doing something like this, but I think that we eventually need to start planning for a person-to-person group outreach event.
I think it'd be a great idea. The last time we did it was in, I want to say October 2020 during Red Ribbon Month. And the only reason it stopped was because of COVID.
That sounds cute. I was thinking since it's like in October, we can like have like little booths and stuff where like people come up to us. Like if it's at the mall, we can each organization can do their own thing, right? But like I'm thinking Pillar, right? Like we can put like a little candy bowl and have like like a family oriented thing, so like they feel more inclined to bring their kids and stuff.
Yeah, the last time that we did a loteria or
I think it was
yeah, it was in September.
That's cute.
So we had like very festive colors, but I guess can I just move on it and see if I could call them all and ask to see if they'll what they charge us or they'll have it.
And we do have a website. I mean, we had gotten the website ready for that particular activity. And so if you all don't know, we do have a website, Drug and Alcohol.
So what the health department can do is we rent a kiosk once a month for wage services, and they charge $400. I'm not sure if the mall would charge something for an event like this, because this is more like a health fair, but getting back to the office, so I'll check and see who the contact is, and I can pass it over to you.
Okay.
If you all do decide to do it at the mall or anywhere else, you can just make a request to the health department, which will be approved, and we can assign program promotion specialists to be there and kind of actively walk around the mall and say, hey, you know, they're having this event over here at Center Court, you might want to go look at it. And, you know, you give them a little briefing, those program promotion specialists, of what you're doing, and they'll bring the people in. And we found that to be very effective, so that people don't just like, oh, okay, you're giving away bags, thank you, bye. It really works out that way.
No, the last time that we did it, we did do something like a raffle ticket. So they needed to go to each booth.
Yes.
So
And it was
cute.
more like I mean, we can come up with a theme or whatever the case is, but I've seen it in like passports where you go to each different location. But I guess we'll get going with the location at first and then see if we can get you all to support by showing up and being out there. Moving forward to the subcommittee group calendar planning. Okay, so we've had subcommittees and those subcommittees have not met. But because we do have new representation and new people, we are going to put out the subcommittees again. And if you would like to sign up to a specific subcommittee, you're more than welcome to do that. And then moving forward after September, hopefully you all can meet at least once a month prior to this meeting so that you all can have a report that you all share with us. Some of the subcommittees had been the detox facility, the after treatment, mental health, additionally, prevention. So if anybody wants to be a part of any of those subcommittees, we're gonna go ahead and send out an email. And then you all can let us know. We'll work on a Google form, Nancy and I, possibly where you can just sign up and just put your information. And then that way the city has your information accurately. And Tiffany can use that as a attendance roster as well. If you are going to be the representative for your agency, please let us know. If not, give us a name for somebody who is going to be able to receive those emails and show up. So that's where I wanted to kind of gather. In addition to the calendar planning, if in your agency, for example, I know SCAN has Red Ribbon Week, and then you also have like alcohol. Y'all have an event for alcohol awareness in April. If your agency has major events or some form of events happening within your agency, please bring those, to us so that we can go ahead and feature those on our social media and our website. In addition to that, to make sure that we plan for it and that we can either participate or have representation. I know at one point Nancy did some awesome shirts for us. And so at that point, we could probably go out there to your events and just kind of represent. Okay, so if you all can please consider that for next meeting to bring back some of your major events or major planning events so that we can plan with you guys or around that. Moving forward to the roundtable meet and greet event. And I put roundtable meet and greet, but I really didn't have a name for it. I know Nancy and I discussed the last meeting where we wanted to get reintroduced to all of our stakeholders, reintroduced to your agencies, what you're all doing, what services you're all doing and providing. And this would be obviously where we give everybody some time to talk and to tell us what's going on, and then for others to be able to hear what you're doing. Because I think the biggest source of information is oneself. In conversation, somebody can say, oh, I have, a nephew, or I have a client that has this issue, and so on and so forth, and then, you think, oh, I'm going to connect them with this person. So I think that is the huge asset if we all get to learn more about our program services and what we're doing. In addition to that, we want to be able to know that those services are still being provided. Nidia, can you tell me when you all did that, the directory? When was the last time that you all did the directory that you all do?
Oh my goodness, it's been a few years.
Okay.
Yes. I know we used to do it, they would do it yearly, we would call everybody, verify everything. But I'm thinking it has to be at least, it's been more than 4, right?
So the directory was something that we put out on our website and that we adopted as part of the work that you all had already done. The directory that I'm referring to is all the resources in our community that provide some form of counseling or support for our mission to meet our goal, right? To allow individuals to be able to be helped. And so I think we're gonna have to look back at that and see who is active, and possibly invite them to this event. I know in speaking to Mr. Walls, he mentioned that we can facilitate it here at the bigger conference room or at the library. We would obviously need more time, so it would be maybe like a morning, afternoon, or a day thing. But anybody who's part of this commission would definitely gain more knowledge from the different program services. At that point, I'd like to also do some, social media photos, get to, pick up a brochure, see what you're all doing, to just kind of put it out there. So is everybody okay with something like that? Can you all consider maybe, I know Scan, you all work with different people, Pillar, you all work with different people, to kind of, push it out there to say, you know what, I think this person or this group should be invited. So I'll get with you all, and hopefully, you all read your email, and then you all can correspond to that and go from there. Any questions, any discussion on that? Possible dates? Do you all want to kind of look at dates? Throw a date. I know Mr. Walls had mentioned anytime in October or moving on. October, November. What do you all feel October?
For the round table, right? Not
Yeah.
for the event.
For the event, we could do October. And then for the round table type, maybe? November.
Yeah.
So let's plan for November. We'll look at dates, and then we'll bring it up at the next meeting. That way you all can come up next meeting with the possible invites and contacts for different people. Moving forward to the detox facility update. Mr. Walsh, do you have any updates?
No, I have none.
Okay, thank you very
Do
much.
you mind mentioning, which you mentioned last time, about the time frame of the construction of all these people?
Oh, okay, yeah. Going back to the last meeting, we did talk to the county. The county has begun renovation, construction, demolition, however you want to put it. And they said it was 300 days from, I guess, the first couple of weeks of July. So we're hoping that we can open doors in June of next year.
Thank you. Moving forward to community presentation, Marina secured Pillar Strong to do a quick presentation. So ladies, you're welcome to start whenever you'd like.
Okay, so we're really just here to provide more information about what we do at Pillar. So we bought little pamphlets, which I feel like it'd be nice to just like hand them out, right?
Just pass them down.
Yeah.
You can start with the website.
Yeah.
And you guys, if you already know, you can give brochures to me. I think it'd be relevant too.
Sorry. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, as you guys know, we also work with, people who have like substance abuse issues. I think one of the ones that's not here that I wanted to bring up is this program we have that's called Bridges. And I'm just gonna read off of the flyer that I have here because, as this person said, it's easier to read off your phone. He's gone, but it's easier to read off your phone. So Project Bridges is what it's called. It's specifically for males, ages 18 and up. It's for people who have a substance use or co-occurring mental disorder, living with or at risk for HIV and AIDS, Hispanic, and what it is, it's literally just like case management, free testing, free counseling, free everything, right? But you have to qualify in the sense that like you must have like a severe issue going on, and they do accept females, but it's just highly unlikely because this program is like tailored and specifically aimed to like help young men. The other thing we have is CTS, which I don't think is on here either. CTS, I forgot what it stands for. What?
It's Consolidated Treatment.
Consolidated Treatment Services.
Yeah, there you go. Our hero over there in the corner, TY. So we have CTS. What CTS is, it's literally just another like program, just like Bridges, but at this time it's pretty much for anybody, all ages. What it is, it's technically just like more help for someone who's going through something, right? So like for us, sometimes we get clients that like just have a lot more going on and just like, my boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with me. it's more like serious. So we recommend usually talk to our supervisor. Our supervisor is like, yeah, this person needs more help. And then we advise them to like call Pillar again, sign them up with CTS. And CTS is literally just like they see a doctor, they get medication, they get like a caseworker. So it becomes just like it's more help for them. And it could be free, but if they're able to afford paying something, they do pay something, but it's like a scaling fee. So it's based on income. So if they make a lot, they're gonna pay more than the average person. And if they make very little, then it can be like up to like $10, $15, or free, like I said.
What's the max? I'm sorry.
I have no idea. We're not in charge of CTS, but I can find out.
That would be a question, because I mean, if somebody wants help and they're being charged based on their income, that might be a little, like, I'd be a little standoffish to be like, I definitely earn more, but I need the help, and you know what I mean? So
They usually don't tell us how much it is, because like it varies from person to person. So I don't know if there's like a max cutoff that someone could pay. Like, let's say you make like $1 million, but like even if you make $1 million, the cutoff is 50.
It also varies depending on what kind of services they need, because we have the psychiatrist on site, they get a case manager, and so depending on the severity depends on how many people are on that one specific person. But we'll get you that answer for next time.
Please, thank you.
I can tell you a little bit about both of those services. Yesterday we had a meeting with the grant project officer for the Bridges program, which is actually a TC HIV program, target capacity expansion for HIV. When I wrote the grant, we specifically targeted the male population here, and rather young males, because there was an increase in HIV in the last few years. And we typically, in this particular program, work with a quadrant for more severe psychiatric and more severe substance use disorders. So we work with very severe clients. And even though there's case management, the main thing that we do is intense psychotherapy. And there's different models that we use, because we have a lot of people with personality disorders, what's called chronic issues. We use dialectical behavioral therapy. We use motivational management therapy. We use seeking safety, because a lot of them have been sexually abused. We use EMDR. So there's a lot of different programs we do, but for this FY22, there's 104% intake coverage rate. We've gone higher than what our intake coverage should be. Between 80 is what is acceptable. 100% is exceptional, because then you have 100, and we have 100% intake coverage rate, and our follow-up rate is at 104% also. Now the CTS program, and the time, because I do supervision for a lot of counselors in that particular program, and in all the clients that I have referred to CTS, they've never had to pay a cent. So I know they have a sliding fee scale, and I know that most of the people that use this program are indigent or don't have the funds. People that do have the money, they're going to come to private practice. Like I'm in private practice, people come to me or here, you know. But it's both of them are good programs. CTS does see the difference with CTS. They do see males and females, and they see adolescents, and that's the big difference. And I do know the counselors very well there, because I'm supervising them. So I work with that program too. It's a good program. Both of them are good services.
Do you guys provide confirmatory testing, or is it just the rapid testing for HIV?
No, they do rapid, but they also do.
I think they do the rapid testing, and then if it indicates a positive result, then they take it to the lab, and then
And actually, Pillar also does the HIV protocol for the drug court and the veterans court. So Pillar takes care of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they'll come by every 3 months. They'll do a presentation for our drug court participants in general, both male and females. They'll get tested there for free. And again, if they're positive on the rapid, then they'll send it over to the lab. Once the lab gets the results, if it still comes back positive, then case management services begin from there.
Yeah.
And those fees are covered by
Pillar, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Pillar just got a new grant yesterday, the one that I'm waiting for, and hopefully we can get it. It'll really help it'll help the Drug and Alcohol Commission, the detox, and it will help drug court possibly is, I wrote a medically assisted treatment program to provide, it was specifically for opiate addicts in our community to be on medication. We chose Vivitrol because it's non-addictive. So we're waiting on hear that. I know that Henry's announced a bunch of grants for that. I've been checking every day. So that's the one that Pillar's still pending. Hopefully we'll get it. Sorry to take your thunder.
It's helpful, yeah. Yeah, like we're just like trying to get our degree, you know?
No. Don't, you know what? Please, don't ever minimize what you're doing.
Thank you.
Don't minimize what you're doing at all.
Any other information that you'd like to share?
I mean, this is random and like not Pillar related, but like I feel like a lot of people don't know about TAMIU's counseling services. It's a CCC. Where they're taking clients already, which I mean, I'm not advertising it to you guys, right? But information, right? So they're taking clients already, and they deal with like the less intense stuff. But also, if like they happen to need like more services, like they work really hard to get them to where they need to get. So even if we can't help them with like whatever it is they're going through, we figure it out for them. So
I want to add something to that. The community counseling services were started by Dr. Bonnie Rudolph and myself. The offices for many years, I offered free office for the TAMU Health Management Program. It was in my building. And I actually have a two-way mirror so I could supervise. I have a two-way mirror. It hasn't been used in years because they moved out of there after a while. They went to Casa Ortiz.
I ran the stress center for
a
while.
Stress center. So that was the origination. And when I was teaching at TAMU, I thought that we needed to give back to the community, and we needed to make sure that we had a lot of young people coming into the field because we are sorely lacking. So I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm sorry, I do have to leave. I have a client one.
Thank you so much for the information. I appreciate you all providing that. Moving forward. To any stakeholder agency updates and presentation, pretty much does anybody have any updates to scan? Do y'all have anything that you all are working on or would like to share?
We don't have anything specific right now. We are ending our fiscal year at the end of August for most of our programs, and then we start the new fiscal year. And so we're also waiting, for new programs and to hear back, what it is that we're going to get. So once we have, a clearer picture of all the new programs, we'll go ahead and make sure to present that.
Okay.
We have our crisis team still up and running. We're looking good for another year. So we've been working along with the mental health unit from PD. We also have our MET program in the main office. So we have our 800 number if anybody wants to write it down. It's 1-888-384-3620. You guys can share that with anybody. 24, yeah, sure. 1-888-384-3620. 24/7. 3620. 3620. 24/7. Anybody who needs their services.
A crisis?
Yes, that's our crisis hotline.
I'm on call, so.
Yes. We'll go wherever.
What's your name?
Michelle.
Okay. Oh, that's from Michelle.
Yes, we work alongside with Ms. Linda. Every time we come up from a crisis, we either work with PD, same process Puerto Rican. We're just trying to keep up. But yes. So for a whole other year, you guys can still be done.
Can you repeat the number again, please?
Yes, definitely. The number is 1-888-384-3620. And this is the crisis response team from SCAT. It's BB Head.
So, for example, if I have participants that are currently seeing a different counselors, we have counselors from Pillar, and they have a crisis hotline. But if they are unable to get a hold of the crisis hotline that Pillar provides, can they call SCAN, or do they need to only call Pillar?
No. They can go ahead and reach out to us, and we'll send out a team.
Okay.
Once we get to assess the situation, we'll determine whether we will take them in, or if they're already receiving services, whether it be with Border Region or Pillar. Just continue that after the stabilization is done.
Okay.
So, and also if they're part of any other program at SCAN, they can also be part of the BB Head program. So it's kind of BB Head is kind of like a supplement to every other program at SCAN.
And then I'm gonna drop the crisis number for Pillar, right?
Yes.
The more the merrier. So it's 843-1315, and it's also 24/7.
Chief, I have a question. We had an individual, a veteran, that went into a crisis over the weekend. The problem was that he was sending text messages to a friend of his, indicating that he wanted to harm himself, right? He wasn't telling us where his location was. Everything was through text. That information was forwarded to his wife. The wife contacted us. So we're trying to tell her you need to call 911. And when she calls 911, she can't give a location. In that particular situation, what can we do to get him help and try and locate him?
You said he was making phone calls through a cell phone?
It was a cell phone that was issued by the VA because he didn't have a phone. So there are resources where we can try and get them a phone, but I'm not sure.
There's technology available that allows law enforcement to ping. So with 911, we can do that.
Yeah, we've had
With an exigency, we can not override, but take a little sidetrack through of the warrant process, the court order process. Because usually you need a court order to track someone through the phone and all that, but through exigencies, we can do that, and it allows us to come back later with a proper legal framework. But we can, there's technology, law enforcement technology to do that, and 911, our 911 has the capabilities to do it.
Their mental health unit is wonderful, by the way. They've also been wonderful helping us out with that same technology.
I want to give a little, when the time is appropriate for announcements.
Oh, no, we're at it right now, so you're more than welcome to.
So, thank you for that, and we're starting budget week for the city of Laredo, and one of the items is, and I think I've spoken about it before here, our mental health unit. So we're seeking to implement it full-time, get the budget for it full-time. We started as a pilot project in late January, and it's, well, the whole intent is the police response, the crisis response, that people call 911, is that as police officers, we recognize that it's a crisis and it's not a ride to jail.
Right.
So I think we've been very successful. We've started with Pillar, Scan, Border Region, creating MOUs, making our unit respond with all these other agencies, and
What's MOUs?
Memorandum of Understanding.
Wait, someone say it, only one person.
Memorandum of Understanding.
Memorandum?
So it's just, it's an agreement between governments or agencies working together towards one common goal. So for us, it's making sure that people that we come across are diverted to the appropriate services, whoever it might be. If most of you state members are appointed by council commissioners, I ask you, please get the support from them to fund our unit. It's been very successful.
We can write letters of support if needed.
A phone call will do, I'm sure.
Who's leading your mental health?
Really, I kind of launched it with, I have Sergeant Robert Garcia who's leading it with 3 officers.
Okay.
We started first laying the groundwork as to how we're going to do this, and the most important thing is the networking with all these agencies, because we had individuals that we took under emergency detentions, and before the bureaucracy of things would delay a lot of services, so we started getting ahead of it by networking, and now they know each other with just phone calls, and we help them, they help us, and there's some things we can't do that sometimes they're like, well, you guys could do this, but well, we can't. But it's been a great relationship. Our motivation, our thing is, when we go to a crisis call, the last thing we want is to introduce a uniform and a weapon to a situation that might escalate. So our guys respond in plain clothes. I mean, they have their protective, they have their weapons, their handcuffs, but they're not visible. But I think it reduces this wall.
It's very important. That's a good thing.
Very good approach.
And they did a great job as well at our event on Friday. They were both there, Operation Border Health Preparedness. They were there all week. getting to know the public, so they become a friendly face.
So in that, between when we started till now, we've been training, a lot of the training that we're getting as an organization is coming from you all. So that's extra in educating our officers, our patrol officers, because they're the ones who are going to respond primarily. Our mental health unit will come in as soon as the patrol guys can stabilize the situation and then kick in. But it's amazing, the guys that volunteered. This was a program that we started by canvassing the department and asking for volunteers, because those are the ones who are invested and are truly going to work at it, as opposed to assigning, someone, I don't want to be here. So it's been a good ride. So we plan to make it a permanent part across the nation and locally in Texas. It's part of policing now.
When reaching out to council members and commission members, we refer to the LPD mental health
Mental
unit.
health unit, yeah. It's a support to fund the mental health unit.
So it's unfunded right now?
No, we started as a pilot program, so we actually borrowed a sergeant from patrol and a couple of officers from patrol to set it up. And once we get funded, then those FTEs go back to the line, and we don't lose our strength on patrol. So that's how we've been. And right now, we started it 8 to 5, but now we're up to, we work from 8 to midnight. So with more officers, we can probably do
Around the clock.
I'd like to add, they do have a female officer, and for people who work out in the field, that can be a big difference.
Yeah.
So the officer levels has always been good to respond.
Chief Maciel, do you have a direct number to your mental health?
The easiest thing is 911 2800. Yeah, because whoever's having a crisis, our mental health guys are not in marked units. So yeah, so your primary response will be from the uniformed patrol, and our system is developed where they stabilize it, and okay, now send in the mental health guys. That way we free the patrol officer back to answering calls and all that, and the mental health officer takes.
Now, because I'm not within these numbers, or I don't know how you're all doing, but are you all receiving phone calls for?
Yes, daily. Like
Daily,
for mental health crisis, yes. We have emergency detentions, sometimes about 7 to 8 a week. And what we're doing is trying to educate our officers, because we really, an emergency detention, I don't want to take too much more time, but an emergency detention is a seizure of an individual. We're literally arresting you under a crisis. So a lot of that education is that necessary? Make sure we evaluate that, maybe a family member and all that can help, and we guide them in the process, because we don't want this to make the negative.
To trigger.
You're removing the stigma from it.
Yes. So we do have a lot of EDs.
I had a question. I was at the Operation Border Health thing, and I know you guys had someone there. She had given me her card. I still have it, but I don't remember her name. But I was gonna text her a thing and ask. She had given me this thing that essentially had like a little square for the picture of the person, and that you would turn this thing in to the.
Yes.
But you can continue.
So that is another big part that the unit is spearheading, along with fire and the health department.
I really like that.
Is getting persons who have special needs, disabilities, any condition, and voluntarily providing that information to us. We input it into our emergency response, so when you call the fire department, you call the PD, the officer knows that he may encounter someone with autism or with some disability who, it's not that he's not, complying or anything, it's because he has a disability. So,
And you turn that into the main office, right?
yeah, either to fire, health, or us.
Fire, health, and you?
Yes, we collaborated to make that.
Because she had told me that it was just at the main, like where you pay tickets and stuff.
Yeah, you can do it there.
Fire, health,
No,
and
or
you?
the police department, but it's those three agencies that we're doing it.
What are those cards?
I'll bring it next time. It's just like a disability disclosure, where if the fire department or the police goes to your house,
They
we
put them
know ahead of time that there's individuals who are hard of hearing, speaking, some type of impairment.
And that's awesome, because then that could be shared with all the agencies and they can start doing it as part of their client intake.
Yeah, I started adding it to my thing. I offer it to my clients. Like I gave copies of the one that she gave me,
That's awesome.
and I start giving it out like even to people that I just meet randomly. I'm like, hey, you could use this maybe because it's pretty badass. Like that's really helpful.
Thank you, Chief, for that information. I'm putting down everybody's insight on stuff, and this is the reason why we would probably move on to a longer setting meeting. That way we can have, at the end of the idea is to have each agency present on the information and services that y'all provide, write down the notes, and then take some time to actually make discussion, and then kind of collaborate and see how we could be better, work together. So thank you so much for that information. Chief, are there any other stakeholder agency updates? Anybody wants to share anything before we close?
I have one. August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day. And this is an event that's held like globally every year on August 31st. And its purpose is to raise awareness of overdose, reduce the stigma of drug-related deaths, and acknowledge the grief felt by families and friends. So this year again, I'm not gonna make an event because we're still with COVID, but I'm thinking next year for sure. But I do wanna proclaim the day. So I guess I can tell Tiffany to send it. It will be in the City Hall. Okay. It's gonna be a Wednesday.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Anything that you need to help support that, I'll make sure that I put it out on our social media, and if any other agency could share those to your social media, that would be fantastic. Just to bring in more awareness. Any other stakeholder agency updates?
OSAR will be having their quarterly call. I didn't bring the information with me, but I can go ahead and send it to Tiffany if you guys would like to be a part of that call. It's really for all agencies in Region 11 that provide any kind of service to an individual who might be either wanting treatment or just needing recovery support services, like parenting and all that kind of stuff. And so basically what we do is just anybody on the call will share like new programs, or if certain programs have closed, if they're needing specific resources, stuff like that. So it's just like another meeting to go ahead and all collaborate together, but I'll go ahead and send that to Tiffany.
Thank you very much. Any other updates? Alrighty, so that concludes our meeting, a very productive and very well-attended meeting. We hope that we have the same dynamic at our next meeting on September 14th, so please make sure that you RSVP so that we can have food for you guys. I call this meeting to order at 12:57. Can I please have a first motion?
I'll motion to adjourn.
First by Nancy, second by Gerardo. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.